You're watching K34QB, Vail, Colorado.
Welcome to this Sunday edition of Good Morning Vail. I'm your host, Gretchen Pleshaw. I'm so excited you chose to be with us this morning, this Sunday edition. It's going to be awesome. We have musicians, artists, as well as Paddle for Paws, which is going to be really exciting to check out later today. You need to go. So grab that cup of coffee, sit back, because Good Morning Vail starts right now.
Things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Welcome to Hiring America, the television program that helps veterans find jobs and transition back into civilian life. Hi everyone, I'm Gigi Stone Woods. I'm truly honored to host this vital program. Reach out to the opportunities you see on this program by logging on to our website, hiringamerica.net, and by following us on social networking sites such as Twitter. We'll keep that information available throughout the broadcast and on our website 24/7. Now, let's get down to business.
Hi there! Are you ready to explore famous neighborhoods from New York City to Kentucky? Watch The Neighborhood with host Nicole Newman. Featuring famous people, unique history, and delicious places to eat and drink. Our viewers get an inside personal look at each neighborhood. With each episode we learn, grow, laugh, and live like a local, not just a visitor. Welcome to The Neighborhood. Check your local program schedule and tune in.
Welcome to this Sunday edition of Good Morning Vail. Now, I'm so excited. Chris Romer sat down with us and gave us a lot of history. The man knows what he's talking about the evolution of the Vail Valley Partnership. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. I have on the couch with me Mr. Chris Romer, President, CEO of the Vail Valley Partnership. Now, before we get started, Chris, for those viewers that have no idea about the Vail Valley Partnership, let's go back and talk about what you do, and then there's a big celebration coming up. We can go back from the inception, how everything was formed, and bring us to today.
Yeah, so gosh, we have limited time today.
I know.
To cover 60 years of history, Kevin. The Vail Valley Partnership was formed in 1964, in September of 1964. So as you said, we're celebrating our 60th anniversary. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But we were formed as the Vail Resort Association. To be that unified voice of the business community, to help the business community in Vail 2 years after the mountain opened. Business leaders said, we need a business association that represents our interests, that represents the voice of businesses, that provides the connections, that helps bring people together as we grow this community, as we grow this resort. Interestingly, that happened 2 years before the formation of the town of Vail. So the forefathers of our community, of Vail specifically at the time, found it more important to have a business association representing business interests than they did a local municipal government. Kind of interesting.
Very interesting,
right? So
yeah.
Ski Resort, 1962.
Yeah.
Chamber of Commerce, Vail Resort Association, 1964. Town of Vail incorporated in 1966. So a
Wow.
little bit of a history there. And we, as I get in my DeLorean and hit 88 miles an hour and go back to September of 1964, which was well before my time. But that's how we started, and that was the genesis, and it was to provide a voice for businesses. It was to provide visitor information, to service guests, to be a welcome center, to be that ability for people to connect, for businesses to band together, to have a voice of what they wanted to see with the growth of the community. So we've come a long way in that time, but gosh, what a fun story.
Well, and I have to say, too, in being in the Valley the last 15 years, mission accomplished. I mean, the Vail Valley Partnership has done such a wonderful job bringing the community together, bringing businesses together, but the reach out to bring guests into the Valley via different marketing and campaigns that are being done. The Eagle County Air Alliance that has also created flights and traffic patterns into the Valley to sustain all these great businesses. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's we're not gonna hang that banner yet because there's still a lot of work to do. But I do appreciate the sentiment, and you're right. I think that when you look at an organization like Vail Valley Partnership, which is a not-for-profit governed by a volunteer board with professional staff, gosh, we've grown a lot from those early days of morphing into the Visitor and Tourism Bureau, into the Convention and Visitors Bureau, adding services, like you said, from group sales to central reservations back in the 80s and
Right.
90s, before the internet, adding programs like the Lodging Quality Assurance Program in the late 90s to give a unified rating system for all of our vacation rentals and condominiums. Into in the past, say, 20 years or so, since we've been and become Vail Valley Partnership, which was in 2007, almost 20 years ago, much more of a voice in regional advocacy, much more of a voice in economic development, much more of a voice in things like the creation of the Eagle Valley Transportation Authority and Core Transit, bringing flights in through the EGE Air Alliance, is starting the CareerWise Youth Apprenticeship Program to have a real workforce focus to help address the needs of the business community and the workforce, and those talent pipelines for kids to be able to have career pathways when they want to stay in Eagle County. The organization today is completely different than it was 60 years ago, and I don't know that the people who formed the organization then could have envisioned being a true countywide organization. The airport obviously didn't exist then.
Right.
A number of things that we know today didn't exist at that point. I-70 wasn't even an idea. And we've really morphed to meet the needs and continue to meet the needs of what the community needs. So
Right.
it's a fun evolution.
Well, and it's more than just support, Chris. It's an enrichment too. You bring in guest speakers to talk to the community about different things going on. You're out there really kind of helping the individuals. You talked about the job programs to try to get, and advocate for the Valley and local businesses from a political standpoint, looking at all the bills, the rental management things that are coming out, how things that are going to affect the Eagle Valley or the Vail Valley here, not just from us who live here, but the guests that come here. It benefits everybody.
Yeah, it's we have a lot of programs, a lot of speaker series. We're bringing in the state demographer next week, and if you haven't seen the state demographer, please join us on Monday. She's wonderful. She'll talk about the past and the forecast for the future in terms of demographics and population growth and job sectors and all types of different things. So it would be of interest to any business owner or business manager and any interested member of the public to see what is Colorado's growth forecasted to be, what is Eagle County's growth forecasted to be, and where are our gaps. So we do try to fill that niche and understand what business owners need to know, be the voice at the state capitol. In Colorado, about 80% of the bills that get introduced are passed. And some of them are very good and helpful. And some of them are less so.
Right.
So we want to be able to support the ones that are helpful, and we want to be able to raise concerns and oppose the ones that might be detrimental. And we saw that happen through the recent property tax negotiations that occurred, and I think they got to a really good place. But it took the voice of business, it took the voice of special districts, it took the voice of schools, all working together to make sure our legislators understand the impact.
It took the voice of reason to kind of get in there and just explain all the different variables that come into play.
Yeah, because the levers of government, again, it's not all bad. There's a lot of good that happens at a state level, from workforce funding and regional talent summits and infrastructure and funding CDOT and some of the improvements that we're seeing on the I-70 corridor. Grants, we have $1 million grant from the federal government for the airport to help bring in the new service from Seattle and San Diego. So there's some really good stuff that happens. But sometimes they want to do these one-size-fits-all feel-good things that have real detrimental impact on how businesses operate. So we want to be able to support the good ones and raise concerns and oppose the bad ones.
Yeah. Well, and again, it's enriching. It's letting the voters know exactly what they're looking at, because sometimes there's little hidden gems in there that need to be uncovered.
Yeah, and we have a ballot guide that comes out during every election cycle. That ballot guide will come out in the next week or so for this November's election, and it's a nonpartisan voters guide. It doesn't endorse candidates. It talks about the issues that are on the ballot. And I think we have 13 or 14 state ballot initiatives, and we'll be voting on things like trophy hunting, and we'll be voting on things like ranked choice voting. And whether or not you think those things are good or you think those things are bad, our ballot guide will provide exactly what it is you're voting on.
Right.
Because sometimes it's, those questions can be a little tricky.
Yeah.
Vote yes and rub your head while shaking your left arm and moving your right big toe if you mean this. Right. And they write the ballot language sometimes in ways that is very, it's tricky and it makes it hard to understand. So we try to provide those nonpartisan guides that help people get to the real crux of it.
That's great. That's very much appreciated by the voters. Well, thank you, Chris. Congratulations. A lot to be proud of. We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail.
we've got a special duo from two of the best voices in the bluegrass and country genres.
We know you're going to love this one from Melanie Cannon and Willie Nelson. Here's Back to Earth.
The songs our love created, I still sing. And every night we make the rafters ring.
This is Necklace. This easy-to-use, non-surgical alternative improves the appearance of sagging skin around your neck and jawline. Made from medical-grade tape, Necklace lasts up to 10 hours, giving you a firmer, smoother look all day long. Women everywhere are thrilled with the results.
Necklace is my time machine, and I'm loving life again.
Necklace is way better than surgery. It's cheaper and it's easier.
Use the on-screen QR code or visit sagnomore.com to order now. We even give you a money-back guarantee. Try Necklace today.
Take the first game every one of us played in the schoolyard. Turn up the degree of difficulty to maximum, and then let loose some of the fastest and most agile athletes in the world to go one-on-one in what you have is the most extreme pursuit contest you've ever known. It's intense, it's addictive, and there's only one rule. Don't get caught.
Oh my gosh. If you haven't seen World Chase Tag before, here's how it works.
2 teams of up to 6 athletes compete in a series of one-on-one chases. Each chase lasts up to 20 seconds and has 1 chaser and 1 evader.
Opportunity to points on the board! Oh!
Whoever wins the duel stays on as the evader, and teams get 1 point for each evasion they make.
And it looks like the opening point for this contest.
It's the best of 16 chases to win the match, with a sudden death chase-off required to break any ties. It's win or go home from now on. Don't miss it.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to the show. I'm very excited to have this brilliant artist with me today, Jocelyn, who happens to be someone that I actually just got lucky enough to meet through a friend and then see your incredible artwork. How are you doing today, Jocelyn?
I'm great. How are you today?
How could I not be good? Look at all this beauty around me. Literally,
Thank you.
I am so excited to speak about your story and share a little bit about your artwork. But first, give us a little bit of background about you.
So, when I was younger, I realized that I was dyslexic, and I was lucky enough to have a mom who worked with special needs kids and also was an artist. So she helped me kind of develop my form of self-expression through art.
You won the lottery with that one, right? I'm like, that's pretty awesome.
And I realized that I was better at expressing myself through art where visuals and images speak louder than words. So what I found myself doing was pyrography, which is literally Latin for writing with fire.
I should have known this because I took Latin in high school, and I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. Okay, writing with fire.
Yes.
Okay. And is that kind of where this creativity with the brains and talking a little bit about the dyslexia came from? Okay.
So what we have here is called My Dyslexic Mind.
Okay.
And it's kind of like, almost like a story of what it's like to be inside of a dyslexic brain.
I have to stop you for a second because I love this. I love that you said story because it does almost feel like I know the background that we will share with everyone, but it feels like looking at a storybook and just kind of taking the pages and learning more and more about you and about people that live with dyslexia. So can you kind of give us a little example and show us what you mean by that?
Yeah, so what we have here are 4 panels, and they kind of mimic the 4 elements. So the first one is, I'm dyslexic, I think in images. And if you'll grab the second one for me and read that one.
And tell us how you made these too, because this is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, so these are pyrography, which is that fire burning.
Oh, wow.
And then what I do is I take crushed mineral and I layer it to create this kind of iridescent effect so that, you know, when you sort of tilt the pieces and walk past them with the light, they change color.
And I noticed because I was like, ooh, I love the glitter. You're like, no, Gretchen, there's more than glitter, just throwing the glitter glue on there. That is beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this one, can you share what it says as well?
Yes, so it starts off as, I'm dyslexic, I think in images. It can be hard to see the forest through the trees. The storm.
Let's hold up this one.
Yeah, up for you. The storm obscures the characters.
Oh, I
and
love it.
It's got that water element there. And then that one is, in my mind, images spark the flames of creativity. And as you can hear me reading out loud, there's that dyslexia.
No, but I love this because it's really showing to so many people. I feel, so often so many of us have these things, these hurdles that we need to overcome, or people feel, I should say rather, that we need to overcome, and they're kind of our superpowers and our strength. And I feel, I don't want to speak for you, but it truly seems to me very easily seen that this is one of your superpowers, is being dyslexic and showing it through a different medium, maybe. Is that a good way to...
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like our brains challenge us in different ways, and through that, we have to sort of compensate and be creative in how we express ourselves and communicate to others.
I love this so much. In my mind, images spark the flames of creativity. That's pretty brilliant. It's you are such a poet and an artist, both. I need to say that as well. So did you, very early on, you said you realized that you learn a different way than others, maybe, and that you, kind of dive into that with art.
Yes. A little bit of background on me is I like to take things apart and see how they function.
Okay.
And kind of in doing so, I found myself becoming a scientific illustrator.
Okay.
I went to the School of the Art Institute of Chicago, which is not to be confused with that chain of art institutes, where I got my degree in scientific illustration. And what I found, especially in doing human anatomy courses, was that the removal of flesh kind of reminds us that we're all made of meat.
I love that.
And instead of treating the model like a piece of meat, I'm hoping to give her back her humanity.
I love that.
And hopefully we dive into her psyche, which brings us, back to the brain.
I love this so much because you have such a beautiful mind, and you really do. And your creativity comes through so fluidly. Like, I see that, I feel it, I understand it. And moving on, because this goes in perfectly, I feel like this is what you're doing with these certain pieces as well, correct?
Absolutely. This is a new piece. I don't even have a title for it yet. But what I'm curious about playing with is the iconography of the Playboy bunny and kind of how we see that as, like an object almost.
Right.
But then again, if we kind of remove that flesh and we reveal the person underneath, then she once again has her psyche and her humanity back.
What a powerful image, both in your mind and seeing this, because it's so true. That is such something that we can all understand and relate to. Because I know when we first met, we were, even before I knew what you were doing with your artwork, we were speaking about how funny it is that people have preconceived notions of all of us.
Yes.
Kind of removing that. Yes.
It's all about stripping that down.
Yes. I love this so much. And can you tell us, is this the same painting or the fire?
Yes, this is also pyrography. So I actually have a tool that I use, and there's different levels of tools that you can use, but I can turn up the heat or turn it down to get the flame to be hotter or colder. Creates different depths.
That is absolutely brilliant. And then the big piece over here, I'm like, is this the same?
This is actually an older series that I did, and this is the last photo shoot that Marilyn Monroe ever did before she died.
Okay.
And this is kind of where I started getting into that taking things apart, because, what I'm really hoping that we're going to see here is her humanity.
Yes.
Like, what is she thinking? What is she dreaming about? And if we can just remove that distraction and just show, how she's really built.
Her true self and going to the core.
Her inner self.
Yes, I love that. And I love that you said, too, because we were playing a little bit with the lights and the cameras, and you can see the glow and the sparkle and the iridescence. So that's brilliant. And it's the minerals.
Yes, so with these two pieces especially, that's important to me because the layered minerals, they change color as the light shifts around them.
Wow.
And so as the sun is moving through the sky, the colors in the pieces change to mimic the passage of time, you know, which is something that I think is very...
This is so cool. Sorry, I just like, as you're speaking, I'm just thinking to myself, all the layers. I feel like this is our common theme with this. The layers of, you look at the piece, you automatically, like we're saying about people, judge, think something, then you read and you're feeling another way, then you're getting to that moment of, oh my goodness, like your piece is doing what it's meant to be saying. Does that make sense? You know, it's such a powerful thing. I love that.
Thank you. Yeah,
That's really
especially with
brilliant.
like the Marilyn pieces, that part's very important to me because in this particular series, her time is very limited. You know?
Yes, that is so brilliant. Okay, so let me ask you this, Jocelyn. With the Marilyn Monroe piece, what was that, the inspiration, I know, to take, I almost want to say rip off, and that sounds a little gruesome, but to rip off like what we're thinking, all of those different vibes, the energy around whatever we feel, think about, especially women, and take it to the soul, to the core. Was that kind of the whole influence of...
Yeah, actually, I think it started with a postcard that my mom took of me and my sister, and we looked so wholesome that, and I know my sister, I know myself, and like we're not that thing that she put on the postcard. So I just literally wanted to take it apart and show who we really were with.
And this is a big thing these days, especially with social media. This comes up again and again, and with mental health, well-being, etc. So this is really powerful. I love that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to make you do it. I'm sorry to make you blush, but I want you to brag for a minute and tell us a little bit about where we can see your amazing art, because I'm so thrilled for you.
Well, right now my work is up at the Biennale in Venice, Italy.
So cool.
I just got back from an artist residency in Kolbermoor, Germany, where I was the first artist that the Shim Art Network sent there to represent them. And before that, I was at Art Basel, Miami. You can also find my work online right now at jawsd.com.
Awesome.
My Instagram is at jawsdfineart. And you can email me.
And look how beautiful. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm like so beautiful.
Thank you, yeah. And you can email me at jawsd26@gmail.com.
That is amazing. And I do want to say, oh my gosh, I'm just so intrigued and enthralled, all the words about your amazing artwork, but it really is poetry in motion. And I just feel so, it makes me feel a certain way, which is what artwork is all about and what art is all about. But I do want to add that you as well can do various other things.
Yes, it doesn't just have to be the gruesome stuff. It can be, you know, I'm very good at portraits. I'm very good. My dad was like, make sure you mention that you can do pet portraits.
Okay, that's a big deal because you know I'll be hitting you up for that with my 3 babies. No, but that's huge.
Yeah, family members. I can do landscapes. I can do a number of things.
Well, you're brilliant, and I feel like we're definitely going to have you back and see what you're up to.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for sharing your beautiful artwork and showing us that, you know, something that so many take as a hindrance is really your superpower. So thank you, Jocelyn, and keep on shining. You're amazing.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And keep it right here. We have more of the show to come.
Good morning, Vail.
Did you know that all Eagle County residents and visitors can get a free Eagle Valley Library District card? All you need is a photo ID. You get our online databases and resources, free music, free streaming, all from wherever you have internet access. Free audiobooks and e-audiobooks straight to your phone. Go into your Eagle Valley Library District branch today and get your library card.
Experience the beauty of fall on the rails of the Leadville Railroad. Take in the cool mountain breeze as you climb to 11,000 feet to watch the vibrant reds, oranges, and golds of fall come alive. Enjoy delicious hot beverages, learn some history, and relax with family and friends. Create fall memories in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Offering daily trips, the weekend specials sell out fast. To secure your seat, book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Coming up this season on Ready, Set, Renovate, we see one couple fall in love with a waterfront fixer-upper.
It sort of wrapped its arms around us and said, you want me, and we did.
And watch as another battles over the budget.
We're trying to look through and see where we can trim at this point.
Are you looking to trim it, Ginger?
No.
No. Construction pros show us the right way to renovate.
Well, we had to do a roof over. We had to hand build a lot of the trusses.
As we're putting the thin set down, the self-leveler has a little clip that clips up underneath the edge of the tile.
From small towns to big cities and everywhere in between, we're covering the great things that are happening right now in the USA. This is Positively America with Ernie and Astis.
Each week, we're going to focus on the great things that are happening every day in the USA. We'll feature change makers.
In every older person, there's a younger person saying, how did this happen?
Innovators.
I talk about design the way some people might talk about like the person they're in love with.
Doers and dreamers.
You can use that recognition to pay it forward.
Ordinary Americans accomplishing extraordinary things.
When you smile, you receive one back most of the time.
We're going to prove to you that optimism and hope are paving the way to an even brighter tomorrow.
We've got a lot of programs that are specifically focused on the children of our fallen heroes.
At Positively America, our mission is to feature good news.
Good morning, Vail.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Good Morning Vail on TV8. It's a Sunday morning. I'm your host, Liz, and I am joined on the sofa with three lovely females. I'm going to start off with BB over here. This is BB, and we'll talk about her in a minute. And then we have Polly and Mary Elizabeth. Hi. Now, you all are really good friends that have been playing tennis together for a long time. And then all of a sudden, you decided that you had a mutual love of the babies. I do. I'm in love with this dog. Look at that face, everybody. And so you decided to do something about the overpopulation of the dogs we have in our community. What kicked this into gear, and how did you end up with Polly? I have a feeling it's the same situation.
Yeah, so Emmy and I are self-proclaimed dog freaks, and our goal in life is to minimize suffering of animals. International travel is what brought me to this whole thing, seeing the overpopulation of dogs, learning that 60,000 dogs from one animal over an 8-year period, they can procreate exponentially to 60,000 animals. So if you can spay, yeah, I know it's a staggering number.
That's
if
crazy.
you can spay or neuter one animal, you can prevent the
onset.
Exactly. Right. So that was really what got my attention in, and then living in the Valley for 15 years, noticing that there was actually some need in our backyard in Edwards, where BB, a year ago, BB was tied up on a deck and she was being kicked around and all the things. I know. So we, anyway, Emmy and I, with the help of one of my coworkers, Yvette, who speaks Spanish, and Nadine Lober has also been really helpful with this process as well. We started getting dogs that were being abused and not taken care of and neglected and left out in the cold, and rehoming, obviously getting them spayed, neutered, medical care, and all of that. So
for every, I'm going to try not to say the word for the person that abuses an animal. Right. For every one of them, we have beautiful, wonderful people like you that care enough to save the animals, and I love the fact that you went in and saved them. Who would kick a little dog?
I know.
What is wrong with people? I can't.
know.
It hurts my heart a lot. So we're going to just take it to the levity portion of today so we don't get sad and the three of us are sitting here sobbing on TV. Today is Paddles for Paws. Now, I understand that you both started out playing tennis, but you realized that pickleball is taking the world by storm. So how did you come up with the idea for Paddles for Paws, which is taking place later today at the Sonnenalp?
You go answer.
Well, I have been wanting to do something like this for a long, long time. I've participated in a lot of different fundraisers in the Valley for usually education, kids, that sort of thing, which are all valuable, but have always wanted to do something for dogs. So being that everybody's a pickle lover and I wanted to get something done before, next year we'll do it in the summertime, but we wanted to get something together, and it just... one of my tennis friends said, how about Paddles for Paws? And I said, sounds great. And he came up with the logo in about 5 minutes. And then that's how, and then we snagged a bunch of volunteers that have been super helpful. Marnie Cullen's going to run the whole, the bracketing of the tournament. So we'll probably have 46 people playing. We've got 6 courts and then 2 tennis courts as well. So we'll have some tennis and some pickle. We've got some incredible auction items, and I'm a aesthetic nurse practitioner. Some people might know that, but I have lots of different beauty treatments. And
I need that.
So in between, you'll play a couple of games, and then on your break, that gives you a chance to kind of see the amazing auction items.
And you have a lot of different a lot of people have donated special auction items to this event tonight, and that's what's exciting. And look at this face, you guys. You're going to take care. You're the big baby.
But there's lots more BBs where they came from. So most importantly, if anyone wants a dog, many of them are Chihuahua mixes, but there's some really great animals.
And where are these dogs right now?
So with fosters, right? The latest litter, the dad just got adopted. The mom is up for adoption. She's precious. Her name is Lupita.
She's so sweet.
So sweet. And 4 little itty bitty puppies. So there's always a dog that we would love to help someone adopt.
But another reason why we're doing this is because the cost of spaying and neutering in the Valley it's a lot. It can be anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500.
I don't think a lot of people know that, because if you adopt a dog from the shelter, they take care of that for you, which is a huge deal.
Right.
But if they get a dog by any other means, they know that they have to support the population control for the pets here in the community.
Right.
And that's a lot. And what if somebody that doesn't have if somebody doesn't have the means, but they want to do the right thing?
Exactly.
That's where you guys come in.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is a fundraiser to raise enough money to get all of the babies, girls and boys, spayed and neutered so that we can
Dogs and cats.
Oh, cats too.
Sure.
Oh,
Sure.
I love all animals. I am right there with you guys. I think I need to learn how to play tennis again so I could play with you guys and learn more things about what you do for the dogs. But this is going to be an exciting event. Today it starts at
noon. So noon to 3
awesome.
At the Sonnenalp. Anybody's welcome to come. Even I think
any level, right?
Yeah, any level. And the entrance fee is $100. That will go towards all of the medical costs.
Right.
We're trying to make it very simple for people. That, like, for example, I was texting with a gentleman this morning who is his days off are Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, okay.
So we're trying to, and he wants his dog neutered. So we're trying to make it really easy for him, and of course make it cost free, but to facilitate getting the dog to the vet, get the procedure, get them recovered, and then back home in time for him.
How long is the recovery time after a spay or neuter?
At least a few days.
A couple of days.
Yep.
The dog needs to stay quiet.
And you have to watch their stitches and stuff like that.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why we wanted to use local vets too, in case something does happen, that they're close by. And again, we have so many volunteers that we're happy to pick up the animal. We're happy to drive, pick them up, and get them ready.
You girls are so altruistic and so wonderful. I love you already, and I have just met you, but I'm really happy that you all are doing this. Do you recommend that people leave their dogs at home for this event just so that it doesn't get too chaotic at the Sun and Alp?
Only because the Sun and Alp
Right,
doesn't want dogs there. Yes.
Well, I mean,
but,
I can imagine them just running around the pickleball courts while everybody's playing.
Yes.
But this girl, BB, is one of so many dogs that are looking for a home. And they could they reach out to you guys? Because you know where the dogs are being fostered.
My cell is 513. Can I do that?
Sure.
513-706-1110.
Okay.
You can text me directly, call me, either way. And if anyone is interested in donating separate from the pickleball event.
How do you do that?
Yeah, just text me and I'll talk you through. We've got a 501(c), and so it is tax deductible and all that good stuff. So I also have a matching benefactor who's willing to match up to $15,000.
What?
So we're hoping to raise $15,000 at the event, which we're about halfway there. So if we can get there, then she'll do an additional $15,000.
That's amazing. And
it is exciting.
If she's willing to donate it, she's gonna donate it. That's what I say. But I mean, look, for $100, you get 3 full hours of a really fun game that's taking out, I mean, literally, everybody is really enjoying pickleball, and they're having a great time with it. So you can have you're going to put the fun in fundraiser, that's for sure, because it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes.
And they just pay the fee, and then you pair people up.
Yep. We've got Marnie Cullen, who's an event planner and is amazing.
She's so organized, and she's made posters of the schedule and where you're supposed to be, and we'll have 11 volunteers to shuffle everybody to make sure they're on the court. And you're going to meet new people and play all different levels. It's going to be
and we're also going to have lots of pictures of all the dogs that we've already rehomed. So
that's a great incentive too. And I know the silent auction that's going to take place, so people can even have a further event with getting some dog auctions going. You're not auctioning the dogs. You're just auctioning some goods.
I'm doing a year's worth of Botox.
Okay.
So
like, how many tickets do I need for that? Right. That's insane. That's really wonderful of you.
Sure, it's like a $2,500 value.
Yes,
so
it is.
that'll be a good one. And then
Cosbar donated
Cosbar has a gorgeous gift basket, like a $1,000 gift basket. I want it really badly. But
so that's the fun of the silent auction. You can get it for a lot less because that's where it comes into play. And then it's kind of fun to battle with somebody like, I want that. No, I want that. And then you kind of keep going.
Right.
But it brings the money up, and all that money, once again, because these people donate their items.
And Fresh Tracks has been awesome. Fresh Tracks has put together a beautiful gift basket and made a great donation and sent emails out to all their customers. So thank you to Dina.
Give me this, girl. I want to just close this session up with this.
Everybody, if you want to save the population of the doggos and you want to make someone like BB a happy girl.
No more babies.
No more babies for BB
or anybody else. Get yourselves on over to the sauna now. Today at noon, only a $100 donation goes so far, saving all of the animals for the overpopulation and a major cost to the people that could really use the money to help start the population control here in our community.
We already have dogs lined up.
Oh my God.
It's so exciting.
They're like, do me next. Well, I can't. I cannot thank you ladies enough for being here.
Thanks, Liz.
Holly, Mary Elizabeth, and BB, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for doing this on your own. You're not even doing it through an organization. This is you, and that's something that shows all the beauty in our people of our community. So thank you, ladies, so much.
You.
Get ready for some pickleball, and I will see you guys over.
Thanks,
Signing up at 12, everybody. Thanks for being here with us.
Thank you.
Right here on Good Morning Vail. It's TV8.
Good morning, Vail.
Join host Madison Brown as she visits with guests ranging from country star Toby Keith to magician Tommy Wynn. Explores the kitchen from cake decorating to cooking Hawaiian style, all while exploring unique locations across the country. Check your local listings and tune in.
America was built on a love for the outdoors. We are a nation of sportsmen, blessed with magnificent natural resources. With broad interests across water and field, we are united in our devotion to nature and conservation. Join us every week for the best shows celebrating the outdoor lifestyle. Outdoor America. Live free.
One of the longest-running syndicated television series is back. America's Black Forum, a weekly series highlighting the latest in our lifestyles, business, entertainment, and finance. We introduce you to entrepreneurs who are making their mark in the business world and leaders who are fighting for change.
Welcome to America's Black Forum.
Tune in each week to know what's happening in our world today on America's Black Forum.
Experience the beauty of fall on the rails of the Leadville Railroad. Take in the cool mountain breeze as you climb to 11,000 feet to watch the vibrant reds, oranges, and golds of fall come alive. Enjoy delicious hot beverages, learn some history, and relax with family and friends. Create fall memories in the heart of the Rocky Mountains. Offering daily trips, the weekend specials sell out fast. To secure your seat, book today at leadvillerailroad.com.
Hey, it's your boy, Nephew Tommy, your host for an all-new season of Black College Quiz, where the nation's best and brightest display their knowledge of Black history and culture while competing for prizes and scholarships. So get ready to see HBCU Nation take the academic field. Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Black College Quiz! BCQ! Yeah, man.
Good morning, Vail.
Now, we all love music in the Vail Valley, and I'm really excited. Derek Frank is coming to Carbondale October 3rd. Let's take a look. We got to sit down and talk to him all about it.
Good morning, Vail.
Welcome back to Good Morning Vail. Well, here in the Vail Valley, we have the opportunity to have some great musical acts pass through. Well, over in Carbondale right now is Los Angeles-based bass player Derek Frank. Good morning, Derek.
Hey there, how are you?
I'm doing pretty darn good. Where are you this morning?
I'm in Los Angeles, but I wish I was in Vail.
Oh, nice. Okay. Well, great. Well, I tell you what, when I look at your biography and everything that you've done, it's absolutely incredible. The inspiration that you got, one thing I always love to ask musicians is, where did you get your inspiration from? And when I look at your bio, it talks a lot about those 70s TV shows, the 70s movies. I mean, some of my favorites like The Dirty Harry, Wonder Woman, and of course, I loved Speed Racer.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, during the pandemic, I got really into kind of going back and watching some of these shows. There's a lot of channels and things that show some of these old shows, and I kind of got into that. And that was while I was writing an album in 2020, early 2020. And some of that influence, like I just realized how great the music is on those 70s TV shows, and it's what I grew up with. And some of that influence just kind of came into the music I was writing for that album I did in 2020. And that just kind of became a theme. And when I wrote this last album, Origin Story, it kind of continued with that. It's jazz and funk, but mixed with a lot of 70s movie and TV soundtrack influence.
That's awesome. Now, you talk about the band that you put together and you're writing music. You've got, a 5-piece band that you've handpicked?
Yeah, it's a lot of guys, mainly based in Los Angeles, that I've worked with other gigs. Like, we're all kind of professional touring musicians. We've all toured with different bands. My keyboardist has done some work with Tedeschi Trucks Band and Social Distortion. My drummer plays with everybody. And my guitarist was in Shania Twain's band with me for a long time. And they're all guys that I knew would sound good on the music I was writing. And I try to think outside the box a little bit too. Like, you know, in a way, some of the guys that play in my band don't typically do this sort of thing, but I knew they would sound good on it. And so I brought them in to do these last couple of records, and I get them on tour with me whenever I can.
Now, you kind of nonchalantly threw out, oh, I was in Shania Twain's band. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big deal. Who else have you played with?
You know, I built my career as a sideman musician, meaning I play with a lot of singers in bands in addition to doing my own music. So I spent a lot of time with Shania Twain. I was with her for about 8.5 years. I worked with Gwen Stefani for about 4.5 years. used to play in the band Air Supply for a little bit. You remember them?
Yeah, I do.
Yep. I've filled in with other acts. I've filled in with Kelly Clarkson a bunch, with Shakira a little bit. An act named Ali and AJ. They were kind of one of my first pop tours. So I've kind of been in that world for a while. But this is kind of fun because I'm branching out and doing my own thing, which feels really good.
Yeah. Let's take a step back. So how did you get into bass? I had heard that you were taking some guitar lessons. You saw a bass hanging on the wall at a music store and just immediately fell in love.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's interesting. Sometimes with musical instruments, they choose us rather than us choosing them. And I think that was the case with me. I just, I didn't know what a bass was. I'd been watching MTV and seeing people play, and I just figured, oh, there's, 2 or 3 guitars in a band. I didn't know one was bass. But I was just sitting in my local music store waiting for my guitar lesson, and I was like, what's that? That only has 4 strings, and they're thicker. And the guy's like, oh, that's a bass guitar. I was like, oh, can I see it? So he handed it to me, and I just remember I was just like, I didn't know what to do with it, but I was like, this feels cool. I like this. I was like, I'm going to do this. So, I continued with my guitar lessons, but then I saved up my caddying money and bought myself a bass, and the rest is history.
Well, let's get into this most recent little tour that you're doing with your team. How did that come about?
Yeah, I've up until recently, I've only played in the Los Angeles area with my band, but I've been wanting to get the music out there a little bit more, and I spend a lot of time in Colorado. I've got a place in Telluride, and I lived in Boulder for a short time, and I've spent a lot of time in Summit County at all the different ski areas. I actually got engaged in Vail, so I've got a connection to Colorado, and my whole thing is if I'm gonna get out there and play music, I want to do it in places that I love, that are fun. Like I'm a big mountain town guy. That's if I didn't need to be in Los Angeles, I would be living in a mountain town full time. So I'm like, if I can bring my music out to some of these mountain towns in Colorado, then it's a win-win. I get to go basically take a vacation to some mountain towns, play my music. It combines 2 of the things I love. So we booked a few shows in Colorado for this run. We booked, we're doing October 3rd in Carbondale, the 4th in Montrose, the 5th in Telluride, the 6th in Pagosa Springs, and then we'll see what happens next year. I'm hoping to get out to play some of the ski towns as well.
And Derek, where can people go to look for more about you and some of the stuff that you're doing?
Instagram is always good. That's where I'm the most active, and that's at Derek Frank Bass, DEREK Frank Bass. But also DerekFrank.com. That's my website. I try to keep that updated, at least with my tour schedule and all that. So we're gonna be adding a lot more dates as time progresses here. I'm looking into next year, and this first run is just kind of a trial run. This is my first time really getting outside of California, so I'm excited about it.
Well, Derek, we're excited to have you too. Thank you very much for planning to come to Colorado to share all your music with us. I know you're going to get a great reception here because Colorado is full of a lot of music lovers, and I listening to what you produce, you're going to hit a home run. Can't wait.
Well, can't wait. It's going to be fun.
All right, we'll see you out here in Colorado.
All right, thank you.
We'll be right back with more Good Morning Vail.
Good morning, Vail. Good morning, Vail.
I'm Danella Richard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world.
It's time for the best coverage of the top stories in sports. The Sports Wrap with Jason Page starts now.
How do you make Anthony Edwards the face of your franchise if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves? We'll get into that. And we say hello to our good friend Matt Verderam, who hangs out with us from SI.com. They're NFL insider. One of them is hanging out with us on the program today. Did you see Caitlin Clark last night? She put up a 40-burger, hits the game-winning three as time expires. Let's turn our attention to the Denver Broncos, one of the NFL's most dysfunctional situations.
The Sports Wrap with Jason Page.
Welcome aboard. Bobby Laurie and Nikki Noya have your ticket to everything you need for an on-the-go lifestyle. Grab your boarding pass. It's time to jet set.
TV8, there's more for you on 92. Serving the local community 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Good morning, Vail.
Thank you for spending your Sunday with us here on the couch at Good Morning Vail. What an awesome Sunday indeed, talking to musicians and artists alike. Paddles for Paws, super stoked on that, and so many cool events coming to our community each and every day. We hope to see you next, or actually tomorrow, for more Good Morning Vail. See you Monday.
Good morning, Vail. See what lies in store for you. There's so many things to see and do. Summer, winter, spring, or fall. Your home in the Rockies has it all. So get up, get ready to start your day. The coffee's brewing, you're on your way. The fun is waiting outside your door. Good morning, Vail.
For fun and adventure, join me on Elizabeth Stanton's Great Big World. Find out where I'll be going next and which celebrities I'll be